I've talked about some remarkable animal facts on this channel, but perhaps none quite as crazy as this. And that's because there was once a brown bear called Wojtek who became a corporal in the Polish army. And Wojtek wasn't your typical military animal. I mean, for one, he wasn't a horse. So in this video, we're going to discover how a brown bear became an active member of the Polish army, and even helped fight the Nazis. In 1942, in the midst of World War II, Polish soldiers were sent to the Middle East in order to fight the Nazis. And it was in Iran where they encountered a Syrian brown bear cub, who probably looked a little bit like this, who they traded for a knife and some chocolate. Now this seems like an excellent deal to me, and if anyone's willing to trade a bear for similar prices, please let me know. They then fed this cub from an empty vodka bottle in typical Polish style, and subsequently named him Wojtek, which means joyful warrior in Polish. And after taking him back to Poland, Wojtek began to fit in like every other soldier. He could salute, march and wave, and wrestled and boxed with other soldiers in his free time. He even had cigarettes and beer, which apparently he developed quite a taste for. But the issue is that Wojtek ran into a bit of an issue, because when the Allies tried to ship out to Italy, pets were banned. And so because of this, Wojtek needed to officially enlist in the army. Initially, he was given the rank of private, and he began to prove his worth very quickly. He carried artillery shells between trucks and the soldiers and helped in the fight. And as a reward for his service and bravery, he was eventually promoted to the rank of corporal. Because he was raised by humans, Wojtek was not seemingly really a threat to humans, but he did help tremendously in helping them. And whilst brown bears are famously destructive forces, weighing up to 600 kilos and running over 50 kilometers an hour, I mean, they even have a bite force of 975 psi, which is strong enough to crush a bowling ball, and they're known as being the deadliest large predator in Europe. But not Wojtek, because he was more about love than war, being commemorated with statues everywhere in honour of his bravery. But it does make me think though, if Wojtek could be domesticated, why can't I have a bear cub? I mean, just look at them, they're adorable. Following the war, Wojtek was then moved to Edinburgh Zoo. He was sent here because due to his domestication, everyone feared he wouldn't survive in the wild. But he wasn't left alone, because his old comrades came to visit regularly, and they gave him beer, cigarettes, and even wrestled with him in his enclosure. And he lived there pretty much for the rest of his life. Unfortunately, in 1963, he passed away, but his legacy will live on forever. I mean, he's basically the goat of bears. He became a corporal, helped the war effort, and had several films and books made about him. Which means other bears need to start stepping up quick. And that is the condensed version of potentially the most remarkable bear that ever existed. From now on, I'll be posting short form content on here and on TikTok, and also longer form content as long as possible when my job allows. I love animals, and I love sharing cool things I've learned about them. And if you do too, subscribe for more.